All right. Welcome to the third podcast, episode 5. How are we doing today, guys?
Splendid.
Delicious.
All right. We're recording in a slightly different room today, so we'll see how that turns out. Before we get going, I have a couple of little things I want to talk about here at the beginning. First of all, if you're with us at episode 5, if you've been listening to us since episode 1, go ahead and hit like or subscribe or something like that. I know how hard I am guilty of not usually hitting likes on videos, but yeah, likes do kind of count. So go ahead and hit like or subscribe or leave a comment, whatever. We love to hear comments, and maybe if you leave a good enough one, we'll read it on here and maybe make fun of you or not.
I'll read it.
Most likely.
Me
maybe.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
Go
be
ahead and
your
address
best
these.
friend.
Go ahead and address these guys directly if you wish. All right. So I also want to point out a couple of podcasts ago, I think it was episode 3. We were talking about Metroid Other M, and I was talking about how Fusion had a great story and Other M didn't, and they're written by the same guy. I kind of knew this might come up, and I happened to read something online where someone was saying that even in Fusion, Samus was a little bit whiny, and yes, she was, and I knew that might come up. But I have to say it was different in Fusion. Like, in Fusion, one of the things was you got to read it yourself, so you could imagine in whatever voice you wanted, like however you thought she should sound tough or serious or, even whiny if you wanted to, but you got to imagine it. So that was one thing. We didn't have to listen to a droning blah, 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 the baby, blah, 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 as that one internet video joke makes fun of. And also, the other thing was, all the cutscenes were on elevators, where you really weren't doing anything. You're riding an elevator, so you're like, okay, I'm on an elevator. I can just sit, I can think about things. I can think about the past and Adam. So it didn't feel like it distracted from gameplay. It wasn't like you were about to or just finished fighting an epic boss, and suddenly you got to listen to her talk about Adam with Adam, like...
Or that your gravity suit is now authorized.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, you were on an elevator, you had time, you killed time in an elevator, Muzak's playing, so it made sense. It didn't distract from the gameplay. So, even, yes, a little emotion is good in Fusion, I liked it, but when it becomes overwhelming like it did in Other M, that was bad. So that's what I have to say about that between Fusion and Other M. And I'm sure you agree, right, Jared?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, also, it's like, where you can imagine her voice, so I doubt people would imagine her sounding like an idiot. I kind of doubt
harsh
that.
choice words from Josh there.
Well,
but
it
yes.
depends on who's playing. I mean, if you want her to be an idiot for all your, little fun, little...
Personally,
Cough.
Personally,
Okay.
she doesn't sound like an... I mean, she wouldn't sound like an idiot if I had not heard her other
Yeah,
M
me
voice.
neither.
Well, honestly, to me, I'm just afraid that she's going to blow my brains out.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
And then whine
Yeah.
about it to Adam. What would
Yeah.
Adam have thought? As I looked at his brain splattered on the ground, I couldn't help but think of Adam and the baby. What would they have thought of... Okay, so anyway.
Babies!
or if
Baby.
you blow up Adam's head, then who's going to authorize her stuff? Like,
Adam! Okay, so that's enough about Metroid. We talked about this like 2 episodes ago, and people are probably
Indeed.
tired of it. And Josh had turned into Spock for a second there. Now I'm going to have to find a picture of Spock and put it up. All right, so anyway. From,
Oh, yes.
From Star Trek, for those who don't know. So,
I don't
know. He doesn't watch anything with Star in it for some reason. No Star Wars, no Star Trek. I don't know what's wrong with this guy.
that's sad.
Is it, or is it sad that we do watch it?
No, it's sad that he doesn't watch it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so going into what you want to talk
Oh
about.
yeah.
here.
So Microsoft has they have apparently announced. Well, no, they didn't announce it, but it's rumored. Yes, God, it's rumored that they're going to have a tablet controller for their next console, the Xbox 720 or whatever they call it,
Right.
which is unexpected for Microsoft. I would expect
From Sony, yeah.
they would do that. But there was a slight rumor, like concept image of them doing it as well.
Sony?
Like Sony doing one, if you saw the trailer video of like you can look through the controller to the TV,
Right.
like they're doing the baseball, and you can look through it.
Wait,
and
the
see-
trailer for Wii U,
the
right?
Wii U,
Yeah.
yeah, Wii U, where you're looking through the controller and you see different things on the controller that you don't see on the TV,
Right.
And they showed like a concept image of that happening with this PlayStation 4 controller also
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely expect something like that more from
Sony. Yeah, because I mean, even look at the Move. Kinect is kind of the same idea as the
Right.
Wii remote, but they at least were a little more creative with that.
You think Kinect is more creative?
Then Move.
Oh yeah, definitely the Move.
Yeah, I mean, Move is like basically it's a
It's a
move
weird
mode,
Yeah.
and the sub controller, the sub chuck.
Sub chuck. That sounds like a bad like alcohol sub chuck.
Yeah, that's like
It's like sub moonshine or
Or
something.
like
like-
the
that's a-
Outcast from Nintendo.
right.
the
That's a
nunchuck.
term coined from somebody else.
Really sub chuck?
Yeah, sub
Really?
chuck. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds
I
still
didn't make that up.
okay. Well, I did make up. It sounds like an alcohol.
Yeah.
You see, the joke is there's this alcohol called like $2 Chuck, and okay, never mind.
I like beer.
Oh my gosh, he does not drink beer. You're not even old enough to drink beer.
They don't know that.
God dang it!
That's still vague.
It is vague. I don't.
We're in
so be
Mexico
happy.
right now, so technically it is legal.
I just yeah. I don't want to get it sued later by a bunch of like soccer moms and be like, oh, they advocate kids drinking beer.
Yeah. If
Beer.
soccer moms can actually listen to like more than a minute of us.
Yeah. Soccer moms.
Oh yeah, and then there was also announced that the Wii U would Nintendo is highly considering changing the name.
Right.
Of
You're talking
Wii U.
about that last week.
Um,
Well, not on
last
here,
week, but
with
not
me.
on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting. A lot of people are kind of rejoicing about this because not a lot of people really like the name Wii U. I mean, I didn't really like it either, but then again, I didn't really like the Wii name that much.
Yeah, I'm not rejoicing about it because I think they already kind of made such a strong argument when Iwata went up there. Was like, you got used to the name Wii, you will get used to this too, which is
Yeah.
terrible if a company has to do that, but it was true. We did
I mean,
hate the Wii name, we got used to it.
Everybody knows the Wii name,
So, yeah.
it's like it makes sense from like a marketing standpoint to keep the name
Right.
because it's like all the soccer moms. But it arrives, yeah, and the grannies are gonna go, hey, look, it's Wii. It must be Nintendo. It must be somewhat connected to the Wii that we
Right.
bought.
Float your boat, granny.
Yeah.
This is creepy grannies. Okay.
No, but that also this also raises another problem, like with the 3DS. When you keep the name of your predecessor, you when it shares part of a name, it's hard to differentiate it's hard to make what is the difference between the Wii U and the Wii. Because each system has its own unique name. GameCube, Nintendo 64.
You think? Well, I don't think people are that retarded. They're not going to be able to tell the difference.
Well, especially with 3D, I think this happened mainly with 3DS. Like they thought it was just another DS,
Oh, I see
rather
what
than
you're
like a real new system
Okay,
altogether.
yeah.
I think people are going to have a hard time because even still, people are having a hard time thinking the Wii U. There's still some people thinking that the Wii U is just a controller.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they're out of the loop. They're living.
Well, and
under a
then or the people that think it's just like a slightly upgraded Wii.
I kind of feel that way, honestly. I
Well,
don't feel it's much of a new.
Well,
console.
just like PlayStation 3 isn't much
right.
of a
You
new
said
system.
you said
to
that in
PlayStation
like
2.
in one of our previous
Yeah.
episodes. But I don't know. It's just like it's such a. I guess I'm just not used to Nintendo doing something like that. I mean, they're trying to keep up a little with what other people do. But
Yeah.
I'm not used. Usually, I'm used to it being completely different and
yeah.
but not just like a minor upgrade.
Well, keep in mind what they've shown so far is not the final.
right.
It's they're going to show the final design of it this year at E3.
Right.
So, I think it could change. Maybe they might make it black or something. They might change something altogether. I kind of doubt that. And then they're going to show some games as well.
Right.
Which
Well,
I'd
they're
love
going
to
to
see.
come out with colors later.
oh, this came to mind randomly, but Retro Studios, they were saying they might be working on a Star Fox
Oh, thank
for
goodness.
Wii U.
I was so concerned when like
Oh,
what
when
was it,
Miyamoto-
made that comment like if Star Fox 3D doesn't sell well, that they're going to end the series. It's like what was that? It's like you don't do that when a series is good. It's like if a series,
Especially when people are asking for it.
right, and when people are actually buying something. And like you only say that when something's not selling well, like it's been selling badly, we need to cancel it. This one doesn't sell. No, you don't do that when things are selling well. And that's the thing. I'm always why are there so many games Nintendo just doesn't release? Like every game is like.
Well,
once in
I
blue
get
moon.
Donkey
Like
Kong
Fire
Country.
Emblem.
Oh, yeah. I get Donkey Kong Country because Rare is no longer
Right,
with
yeah,
them.
that makes sense.
But then they just gave it to Retro Studios and then
Right.
they made it.
Right.
But yeah, it was interesting because I think they're saying. I wish I could. I didn't write down the actual quote, but it was saying like it was a magazine that pointed out they're like, yes, well they made a Donkey Kong, and they were thinking of something about another barrel to roll or something like that. So they're saying,
I see what
let's
you
do a
did
barrel.
there.
Yeah.
That's kind of naughty.
What? Okay, so anyway, it looks Nintendo's really starting to trust Retro a lot.
And just like there's the other one, they want Retro to make a Zelda. Miyamoto said that. He's like he would like Retro Studios to make a
That's
Zelda
great.
game.
That's like praise from Caesar there or something.
I know, really.
Yeah,
because
good
they're
for
probably
them.
gonna make another Mario or something eventually.
Yeah. What do you think is going on with Miyamoto? Because I remember there's that whole thing where what you came and told me. I think what was it? Was it One Up who had done that report saying that he was stepping down, and then like all of a sudden, like a day later, they retracted like, oh, he's not stepping down. We horribly mistranslated or something like that.
Well, no. What happened was, I guess somebody made a. I don't know if it was One Up or some other site.
It was either One Up or Joystick, and I know I don't tend to.
I don't think it was Joystick
that much, so it was
I don't
definitely
think it was
One
Joystick. I think maybe it was One Up.
Up. Joystick's kind of
Yeah,
not so credible in my opinion.
in his opinion.
Yes.
The
The views and opinions of this podcast did not necessarily reflect. No, I'm just kidding.
No, say the whole thing.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's like,
Yes.
Yes!
yes.
Falco! Punch!
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh yeah, but they had announced that he was stepping down and
show
he
me your
wanted
moves.
Poop!
Fire Emblem.
Cool. Okay, sorry. All right, so yeah,
He was stepping down, but then like a day later. But the thing is, a day later, then Miyamoto and his translator clarified, no, that's not the case. I was just saying I want more younger developers to be more involved and to give them a chance.
Right. So it just that was.
But then like that, I think it was One Up or whoever that originally reported that saying, no, we're standing by what we heard.
Really.
Yeah,
Huh.
this is what we heard. But Miyamoto had himself clarified, no, I'm not stepping down.
That's interesting. So
And
that,
even like Satoru Iwata was saying, like Miyamoto, nobody can replace him.
yeah, right. Except for me, who will replace him once he's dead. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's horrible.
Goodness forbid. No, seriously. I mean, like that's a thing to consider. I mean, I like Miyamoto. I think of Miyamoto. He's kind of like he's almost like the Willy Wonka of video games. Like he's the guy who will get down and actually play the games himself. And then you've got Iwata, who is a fun guy, but more of the business-minded
Yeah.
sense of Nintendo. And
Miyamoto's like a kid.
right, and
at
once
heart.
Miyamoto does actually, step down or whatever, it's like let's see where that Nintendo goes. I think it'll be less. The games will be less originally creative, but they will be more like keeping up with the current standard of the industry.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. That's a weird trade-off. It'll be good on the one hand because it'll keep up and people won't look down at Nintendo as much, but it'll also be kind of bad because it's like, well, then the original creativity is lost.
Yeah.
So
You know,
who knows?
somebody else made a point. Like how the Wii U. I mean, they haven't actually released specific specs for it, but they've said, like it's rumored that they're going to look pretty much almost the same as what the current systems out there, like PS3 and Xbox 360. The graphics are going to look somewhat similar to that, but just slightly upgraded.
Right.
And people are saying that's already outdated. Those like 7-year-old chips. And it's like, well, the thing is,
Not if you shove two in them like PlayStation did.
no, but I mean the thing is, it's like or they're saying, yeah, well, Wii U is going to be not supported by developers, because it's going to be underpowered again. It's like, well, if you look at the 6th generation, PlayStation 2 was the least powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, not counting Dreamcast.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It was the least powerful, yet it was like the most supported.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the most successful system out
Yeah,
there.
that's the one that everyone had.
Yeah. I mean, and then GameCube was actually more powerful than PlayStation 2, and then Xbox.
It was actually, yeah.
Yeah, and then
I kept trying to tell people that, but they're like, no, Nintendo sucks.
I got some weird claim that someone said like, "Oh, the PS2 is more powerful than Wii." It was
STFU.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's really
and
sad.
CTFO with your fail.
facepalm.
Yeah.
So then, no, but yeah, it's like I feel like this next generation, whenever the PlayStation 4 and 720 come out, I feel like it's going to be like a same. The competition is going to be the same like as the 6th generation, where all 3 systems have somewhat the same power.
Yeah.
Where there's some because I mean
Right.
Sony already said
And
we're not going to make the same mistake.
Right, yeah. And if you look at Xbox, when the original Xbox, when it first came out, some of the original graphics on that thing were actually not that great.
Yeah.
Like, the original Xbox graphics really weren't good. Look at, like, Perfect Dark Zero, which, nobody really liked anyway.
Oh.
It wasn't until a little after Halo, actually. around Halo 1 and a little after that, the Xbox graphics really started, getting better.
Yeah, I mean, or you like GameCube. Look at I look at GameCube with Resident Evil 4. That they were saying that game made the GameCube look like an Xbox.
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, Resident Evil 4 was a great game.
And now Jared Toxic right at the end here.
Yeah.
What?
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 Oh.
I don't understand what's happening here. Okay. So anyway. All right. So anyway, I guess that's it. So we're wrapping up here, and we'll see you next week or something. All right. Bye.
Bye.